If I had a microphone so big it could be heard by the world at once, I mean a mic that would project a sound so loud that everyone on the planet, every star, every corner of the universe, across galaxies, a sound that can shatter the sound barrier and leave a lasting impact on humanity. The first thing I would say is,
women's title in chess is not a badge of honor, but for lack of a better word, nothing other than a symbol of sexism.
Women's chess titles have been holding female players back for decades, but I find it ridiculous many male and female chess players do not or pretend not to know this. In this video, I will be contributing to the celebration of the International Women's Month by setting the record straight. I hope this raises awareness, so let's talk about this. And what I mean about talking about this is destroying every myth people still use to defend the need for the women's title in chess. Before we go further, I have something very important to share. This morning, I got a notification from YouTube that my channel is 1 year old. I have to confess, when I uploaded my first video on this channel last year, I never imagined I would have this many subscribers. Close to 900 subscribers, never. I thought one had to be a celebrity to have these many numbers. As if this isn't enough, having a YouTube channel with over 100,000 views in a period of a year to my name was something I never thought I could achieve. For this reason, I want to say a very big thank you to everyone for your views, comments, likes, and even dislikes. I'm immensely grateful. I also like to make it clear that one of my goals for this channel right now is to get to 1,000 subscribers. But I don't even know how to ask because you have done so much for me and I don't want to sound selfish. So I thought it would be great for us to make a deal. If you subscribe to my channel to get me to 1K, I will do everything in my power to make my content better, more valuable, and more insightful. I promise you, it is a deal you will never, ever regret. So please, thank you as you subscribe. Let's get right back into the video. I think the most comfortable point to start this conversation is right at the most uncomfortable part of it all. That the only change we need to improve female participation in chess is that we should no longer patronize women with less stringent women titles. I am 100% sure this would sound counterintuitive for a lot of women, especially titled women, but it is not. Let me make it clear that when the titles for women were created, starting from the creation of the Woman International Master in 1950 till the just recently created Woman Candidate Master in 2002, FIDE's claim was that the major aim was to equate participation of women in chess. But 1950 was a long time ago. To put this in context, in 1950, women's rights were still in their infancy. Women faced significant discrimination in various areas of life, including voting rights, employment, education, property education, and even reproductive rights. Women had limited access to birth control and reproductive health care. Based on that social context, it might have made sense to create a lesser title for women to improve participation. But guess what? This is 2025, a far cry from that camel distance here. Hold on. Before you run to the comment section to air your thoughts, let me list out some things women have achieved from 1950 till now. From 1950 till now, we've had Rosalind Franklin's DNA discovery in 1953. She contributed significantly to the understanding of DNA structure. We have had the first woman in space, Valentina Tereshkova. She became the first woman to fly in space in 1963. We have had the Civil Rights Act of 1964, in which women played a crucial role in the civil rights movement, leading to the passage of the Civil Rights Act. We have had the birth control pill approved in 1960, when the FDA approved the first birth control pill, revolutionizing reproductive rights. We have had Title IX in 1972, where the US federal law prohibited sex-based discrimination in education, paving way for women, sport, and education. We have had the first woman on the US Supreme Court, Sandra Day O'Connor, who was appointed in 1981. We have had women's rights in the workplace, the Pregnancy Discrimination Act in 1978, the Equal Pay Act in 1963, first woman to run a major corporation, Catherine Graham, first female US Secretary of State, women's suffrage in Afghanistan. We've had the Me Too movement. We've had a record for the number of women in the US Congress. What am I trying to achieve with all of this? The law introduced in 1950, which created a separate women's chess title with lesser requirements, was a product of its time. While it may have been well-intentioned and even progressive for that era, it is now outdated and perpetuates harmful stereotypes about women's ability. As we have seen in the past 7 decades have been marked by tremendous progress in women's rights and achievement. Women have broken barriers in space exploration, politics, economics, and countless other fields. They have demonstrated their capabilities and excellence in every arena. Even in chess, women have made significant strides with players like Nona Gaprinashvili, Hao Yifan, Susan Polgar, who have achieved remarkable success. The separate women's title, however, implies that women need a helping hand or a lower bar to achieve recognition. This patronizing attitude is denigrating to women, suggesting that they are not capable of competing on an equal footing with men. It is a relic of a bygone era when women were indeed facing significant barriers to participation, but time have changed. I know with all of these points I've made, some of you will come up with a counter argument that scraping women's title will reduce the number of titled women we have. While that might sound true, or it is actually not. What the governing body needs to do is simply create titles at various levels. For example, we could have the 2000 level range, we could have the 2200 level range, we could have titles for even 2300 level range, etc., etc., that are opened to both men and women to pursue. With this, I'm sure many women will lose their status as WGM, but sadly, we have no option than for them to bear with us, because leaving these titles or lowering the bar for women to receive titles may generate interest, but it also perpetuates the stigma that women can only achieve lesser titles. Rather than reducing the bar to have many women GMs, scrap the titles and create a more effective approach to improve participation in chess by promoting talents like Vaishali Ramesh Bapu, who became a Grandmaster at the age of 22. Women like this should receive more promotion to show women and girls that they are capable of achieving the same titles as men. There's literally a woman that broke Bobby Fischer's record of being the youngest person to become a GM. That alone is enough for all these makeshift titles to be scrapped. I'm sorry, Bota's sister or Dina, if this ever gets to you. It is time to hand over your titles, not because I hate you, but because you can be grandmasters and as good as your male counterparts as you have done with content creation. The women who now grow up playing chess will thank you for not telling them passively right from the start that they are too dumb to become a real GM. Do it now. It is in your hands to drag FIDE. While my first point has been established, I'll be a coward to run away from the reality that more women play and play better chess when given the option of being kept separate from men. Although this is a hard pill to swallow, it is correct. In fact, it has been proven with an experiment. In a 2007 study at the University of Padua, male and female players of similar ability were matched up with each other on online games. When the female players were unaware of their opponent's sex, female players won slightly under half of their games. When female players were told their opponent was male, they played less aggressively and they won about 1 in 4 games. However, when female players were told their opponent was female, even though they were actually male, they were as aggressive as their male players and won about 1 in 2 games. The researchers argue that gender stereotypes may have led female players to lower their self-esteem and self-confidence when they know they are playing male players, causing them to play defensively, which worsened their performance. This points to the fact that male presence affects women's performance. Even though this is sad, the cure is definitely not creating women's title. That is not the effective way to resolve the issue. In the short term, it might, but in the long run, it will only reinforce the problem, because rather than building the mental toughness to crack their male counterparts, the option of choosing to compete in an all-women tournament rather than open tournaments facilitates women to lower their ambition. Other factors that contribute to the creation of a hostile environment for women to play chess at their highest strengths when they are playing against men are comments from male chess players. Misogynistic digs are common in the top ranks of the game.
The first and the very last you ever won the game against me. I'm sorry.
But I won it
Well,
anyway.
you won it. Well, the very first and the very last in your life, yeah.
Really? One time that's a
I guess they are not so smart. These are words of Bobby Fischer when he said that in 1962. Another one is, chess is not for women. Women are weaker fighters. Garry Kasparov actually said these words in 1989. Another one, men are hardwired to be better chess players than women. These are the words of the vice president of the World Chess Federation. He also added, as if that is not enough, that you have to gracefully accept that. This is so sad. Why do we allow these things to go uncancelled? Why? This actually affects, I don't know how to put it. It just affects women in chess. Can we not see these are the problems? Like, not creating titles is not the solution. These are the problems. We need to fight these things. The message we are passing to the younger generation of women, if we do not fight these things, is that they are not and they will never ever be good as men. Oh, these comments are harsh and discouraging, and we must stand up against them. If they are left uncontested, it will affect girls who pick interest in chess. Let me also confess, I will actually not be ignorant. I totally understand these statements are informed by several hard truths. Number one, there has never been a female world champion. Number two, the best female player has always been ranked substantially lower than the best male player and will probably lose to him in a match. Number three, of the top 100 players in the world, only one is a woman, Hao Yifan. While these are truths, it's also a fact that there is currently zero evidence for biological differences in chess ability between the two genders. The reason women are bad at chess are mainly societal and external rather than internal. If we have women being pushed and being told they can be as good as men, rather than creating a title for them which indirectly tell them they cannot be good or even better than men, we will see more women springing up. Just take a look at the comment on this chessboard. It was created or co-created by Daniel Miron to pay homage to women chess players. Look at all the horrible comments. Comments like this are what governing bodies should fight back with no discrimination campaign. The game of chess is one of the few games that does not discriminate. A child can beat an adult. A man can beat a woman and vice versa. So why should we, the custodians of the game, discriminate when the game itself does not discriminate? Even old world champions get to play with new world champions just to test their strength. This does not occur in any other sport because age and gender plays a role. But in chess, it is actually different. This is a gift that this game has given us, but we are choosing not to accept this. My message to every modern woman playing chess: as you compete in the chess world, remember that you are part of a legacy that has fought for equality and recognition. You have benefited from the progress made by women who came before you. Now, it is your turn to take the next step. Consider letting go of separate women's title, which can perpetuate the idea that women need special treatment. Instead, strive for excellence on the same terms as men. You have the talent, dedication, and opportunity to compete with the best. Don't let outdated titles hold you back. Aim for the top titles and inspire others to do the same. By doing so, you will not only elevate your own game, but also contribute to a more inclusive and equitable chess community. You'll be part of a new legacy that values meritocracy and equal opportunity. So, go ahead, make your move, and show the world the reason the queen is the most valuable piece on the chessboard. Also, come to think of it, for you lot insisting women's title is necessary for promoting participation of women in chess, I have a question. There are also not so many black GMs in chess, or even titled black players. Would it be right to support black people by creating black GM titles? Think about it. Apart from that, also, there have been a lot of talks on how chess can be promoted to get more attention by the world. A huge step toward that direction will be a female chess world champion. Come to think of it, the popular Netflix most watched scripted limited series, The Queen's Gambit, did a lot to the awareness on chess due to the singular reason that the protagonist, who was a champion, was a woman. If a fictitious script with a female world champion could push chess to that height, now imagine what having a female world chess champion would do to the game in real life. Okay, if after everything you have watched in this video, you still feel like, oh, there's still a part of you that's still resisting scrapping women's title in chess, I actually created a video for you. If you feel like everything I've said in this video is like just in theory, or it can never happen, it's just in theory, women can never be as good as men, there's actually a real life situation where this happened. There's literally a woman that destroyed Bobby Fischer, that destroyed Garry Kasparov, just because when she was growing up, her father told her she can be as good as anybody, and she ignored the women's title. She ignored all of the women's competition. In fact, she's not a woman. She's not. The only reason she's not the female world chess champion is because she ignored it, and because she's too good for that title. If just like we or this woman has been told, or this woman was groomed when she was growing up, we can groom every other lady in this way, we would definitely have a female world chess champion, and we would definitely have the gender gap between good players, female good players and male good players will definitely reduce. We just need a change in the mindsets for women, and they will definitely spring off. If you think everything I've said here is trash, just watch it for yourself. This video is a real life instance for you to see for yourself that there's no need for the women's title. There's actually there's a standing evidence that women can actually do well in chess if they are told, if they are groomed well to believe that they can be as good as men. Thank you very much. I will see you in the next video.